Thank you everyone for coming. Hello, welcome to the Barony of the Steps, more commonly known as Dallas, Texas. We are a group of the SCA, the Society for Creative Anachronism. We are a bunch of people who dress up in medieval garb or Renaissance garb or ancient garb and get together to recreate history throughout the ages. Today, I'm teaching a class for all of you newcomers about how to get started with the garb, which in my opinion is the one thing that sets us apart from most of the LARP proper groups that people come from when they start writing. Anyone who goes to an SCA event will probably be wearing garb. And if they're not, we're going to loan them some really quickly. Here we go. My name in the SCA is Rayya al-Ruqay'a. I play a Muslim persona from Spain in the 13th century. And so I wear a headscarf and I wear tea tunics, of which you will be making one today. I am currently wearing two tea tunics, say that 5 times fast, and a pair of big poofy pants. That's all. I want to reassure any of you who are worried that this needs to be an expensive hobby like reenactment, that it isn't. Everything I'm wearing right now is thrifted, secondhand, or repurposed. So you can do this on a budget, and that's why we're here. I have a table of contents for you. We're going to go over garb in general first. Going to look at some examples and help you get ideas of what you want. Welcome, Gilly. After we go through types of garb and why we make garb or wear garb, we're going to get into the practical sewing portion, which some, if not most of you, have fabric, and we will make tea tunics like this tonight for you to take home. For those of you here in person, I also have garb to give you to help you get kitted out. Our Barony has too much, and we're trying to get rid of it. We have something like 200 garments that we're trying to get rid of. So if you or someone you know would like to get started in the SCA, help us out and take free garb. We have fabric as well. After that, I have a bunch of resources at the end to help you get started making more garb, so you have a wardrobe. Everyone wave hi to Lady Stephania. She is my boss, the hospitaller for the Barony of the Steps.
Hello.
She is the one who helps get all of our newcomers integrated into the Barony, into the activities. She's the one who answers the email.
Which has been decidedly quiet lately, just so you know.
Well, I will say, Stephania, you would say hello to Wilhelmina. Hello.
Hello. I'm trying to get this on my computer, so I'm not squinting.
Okay. Moving onward. So garb is the historical costume that we all wear. I'm sorry that you three can't see my presentation right here. I will turn it around so you can see the video. We ask that everyone at least make an attempt to wear historical clothing when they show up to any event. Doesn't usually include practices. Those are just to show up and practice. But if you go to a war or to an ANS event, everyone there will be wearing something historical. Like I said, we have loaner gear for those who are just starting out so that you can dress up. Really awesome. Welcome. Are you here to sew?
No, to watch.
Okay, okay.
I will be sewing, just answer sewing.
That is fair. I have a video here that was filmed at the beginning of quarantine when people were going crazy and the SCA entirely shut down. That is the SCA glow up video. This is from a kingdom on the East Coast, or East Coast, turned into someone from the East Coast, showing off their fanciest garb. More importantly, it shows you the variety of different cultures and time periods that we have, whether it's Persian or Turkish or Viking, or the fitted cote-hardy dresses that you see in the princess movies, or the men with the very poofy pants and the tightly fitted doublets and the big codpieces. All of those are valid choices. all of those are things that you can make or have other people help you make. And I want to help you find the things you love. So I am going to full screen mode is unavailable. Rude. We'll do this in a new tab then. There will probably be an
Sick of scrambling to turn mountains of meeting notes into actionable tasks?
Actually, I remember how this works from when I had to teach.
You need Wrike's Zoom integration. You can use Wrike to share your
Stop
agendas,
that.
documents, and
For me, creativity starts with what ifs. What if there's
I'm going to share the link in chat for those of you online, and you can watch at your own pace, on your own speakers, more importantly, so everything syncs up. I'm going to mute myself while you watch. Give me a thumbs up in chat when you are ready to go. Have had fun with this video. Hi, Peter. Hello. Great, everyone's here. Okay. See a couple people still going.
Yeah, I forgot to change
Whatever that is. Felicity, Peter, Travis, you good?
I'm good.
Great, great. No, thank you. So we saw a lot of garb in that video. There are too many types of garb, even just in that video, for me to explain what each item is. So if you have questions specifically about one type, I will answer them now to the best of my ability. Is there anything that stuck out to you as fabulous and amazing and you want to wear it? And I will give you the search terms you need to put in Google to find how to do it.
all the things.
The super big sleeves.
The super big
I wanna
sleeves.
do that.
The ones that drape like angel sleeves, or the ones
Yeah.
that are poofy.
The
like
ones that
that.
like do the triangle thing and yeah.
The word for that is a layout.
Okay.
It's French, which means it's spelled with too many vowels. Tell me when you're ready.
Okay.
B-L-I-A-U-T. Layout.
Fun.
They're from 11th and 12th century Europe, like France or Italy.
We have Facebook groups that are geared to each region. So like we have a Persian and Turkish Facebook group that will help you with whatever patterns and how-tos. We have Italian garb groups. I mean, we can point you in whatever direction. Oh, don't mind the crazy hair.
Yeah, we can get you specific help afterwards to get you in the right groups. Anyone else?
My husband really likes the poofy pants and like doublet situation.
The one with a bunch of holes in it?
With like the slashes on the pants and the, yeah. I
Okay,
don't know what those are called, but that's what he likes.
I know the name, I've just forgotten it all.
Pantalones?
No, the German one. The German
Oh,
one,
the Lynchknits.
Landsknecht.
Okay. How is that spelled? Because I'm not gonna be able to do that.
Lands, and then K-N-E-G-H-T. Cool. Landsknecht. And we have a fighter here in the Barony who does Landsknecht.
Cool.
Yeah.
We actually have several.
I've only met one. If we have more than one, they need to show up to practice.
They really do.
Are your poofy pants easy to make?
They're super easy to make. They're called Seerwal or Sarwal, depending on where they're from. They have like 1,200 years of history. That's fair, but there is an entirely different look of poofy pants for Vikings than there is for Middle Eastern
Like
people.
I go towards that worse
Mhm.
style, which is slightly different from the other ones too.
Slightly different pants. Okay. In general, what goes on top is called a tunic. What goes underneath for ladies is a shift, and for men is a shirt. If you have a dress over the top, you might call it a gown, and everyone will understand that. You're gonna have a belt and a hat or a veil. Shoes are shoes. Last call for garb terminology.
So there's,
And
I think
nobody's
it's-
gonna yell at you if you call it a chemise, I promise.
It's very French. Go ahead, Felicity.
there's one, it looks like a Scottish outfit maybe with the tartan fabric, but it has like a cool cowl cape thing on the top. What's the cape called?
The cape is called a hood.
Just a hood?
That one specifically has a lyra pipe on it. That means it has a long tip on the back that draws down.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
Mhm. The gown is called a cote hardy, again, because we all love the French. The common term for that in the SCA is a GFD, a Gothic fitted gown. And it's the ones that are super tight and squeeze everything. I'm not a fan. I don't wear them. You don't have to wear them either, really. I mean, your shoes rocket. You would look fantastic, but it's all about your comfort. Elise, did you have a question as well?
Oh, I just asked it. That was me.
For men's clothing, there's one that I've seen before where it's got like a half cape on like one shoulder. Do you have any idea what that would be?
I'm not sure a specific name. I'm pretty sure it's Renaissance, probably Italian, because
Square quote and wear them. Different
Yeah.
ways, and there's actually ways to drape it where it's.
Oh, cool. So it might just be a square cloak that's.
yeah, the Italian men would wear a half cloak on their shoulders so they could use it as an offhand when they fought and wrap their opponent's blades in it.
That's cool.
So that's what you're looking for.
That might be what I was seeing.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay. So before we start making garb, one more step. We have to decide what we're going to do with it. We saw a bunch of garb in that. If you look on that page, all of that garb counts as court garb. It is your fanciest garb. That is the garb you wear for the indoor events in winter or in high summer, where you never leave air conditioning and you walk around on the carpet. It's never supposed to get dirty and you are looking your finest. There are other types of garb. You don't need to dress like that all the time. What I'm wearing right now is camping garb. I expect to get sweaty in it. I'm gonna hike maybe 2 miles. I'm gonna do archery in it. I might toss it on to fight, but probably not because I don't want it to get ripped. I've made it easy to wash and easy to wear, and that's the point. Low effort. Fighting garb is even one step down because it's going to get torn. It's gonna get sweaty. It's gonna get covered in rust and metal stains and probably duct tape. So fighting garb is meant to be disposable. And for that, you choose your materials. The last category, oh, Stephania has some, what, camping garb for that one?
Yeah, it's just my day garb. It's stuff that's gonna get muddy. It's quick to throw in the washer and dryer when I get home. I can take it into the privies and rinse it out in the sink.
Yep.
I can bundle it up and it doesn't, that one's about 5 years old and looks brand new.
Mhm. The last type of garb you might see is garb that people make only to enter in competitions or to take photo shoots of. It's A&S garb. You are not expected to ever wear or perform at that level, and most of it never leaves a closet. But it's nice to see people explore the full extent of their capabilities for a competition. Just don't see pictures on the internet and get scared of them, because that's not the goal here. Our goal here is to have fun and to recreate how people would have lived every day in the Middle Ages or ancient times or the Renaissance. We're going for camping or day wear today, something easy and fast and comfortable. Which brings us to the hardcore version, the sewing. Who here has ever sewn before? Everyone here in person. Felicity has sewn some, at least I know you.
I'm pretty experienced sewing.
Pretty new to sewing. Okay, cool. Cool.
No, I'm experienced. I make gowns and wedding dresses, and
I know who I'm going to.
I'm
Fantastic.
working on an Elizabethan dress right now. Oh, I'll turn on the video and show it to you. Hold on a second. I'll go in my sewing room and turn the camera on, but not in my bedroom.
Okay, I'm just gonna do a quick overview and I'm gonna take it to a little bit higher level than this slide goes into, because I think everyone here has some experience already. Fabric or material. Because we're in Texas, it is highly recommended you use natural fibers and not synthetic fibers, or you will die of heat stroke, like I have been for the last year. I come from Colorado and I'm not used to Texas yet. So
Polyester does not breathe.
wool, linen, or cotton fabrics keep you much cooler. They deal with sweat better. You can use synthetic fibers as well, or synthetic blends. probably for court garb though. If you want to explore other fibers, there are plenty of others. Rayya, alpaca wool, they also work great. For price reasons, cotton might be your best bet right now. Seam, for your seam allowance, that is how thick your seam is inside your garment. So for instance, in this one, you can see I have a little less than ½ inch there where it overlaps. Harvest, that is incredible. You're gonna fit right in.
I'm making my husband a doublet to go with it. This is my husband's doublet pieces, and that's my dress.
I'm going to interject something with the costume thing. It's gorgeous, it's gorgeous, it's gorgeous. I'm envious.
This is for Scarborough.
Yes.
I worked there for 15 years on cast.
This is
Yeah,
not for
completely.
SCA at all.
We have a 10-foot rule in the SCA. Okay. So if you are making garb for your first time and you want pants that are a little bit baggy and real comfortable, and you're on a tight budget and you're not sure you're comfortable making pants, go get some cotton scrub pants.
Yes.
We will not ever, and if they say anything to you about it, send them my way. We will never, ever argue with somebody who's given it their best shot, said, you know what, forget this, I'm getting the scrub pants out pants.
Mhm.
It's a 10-foot rule.
There's also stuff you can do. You can go to the thrift store and buy sheets and turn those into stuff for like $2 or $3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's 200 sheets. Cool.
Nope, and that pretty gold fabric there is a tablecloth that I recycled for a wedding from Goodwill. Yep. Thrift stores can be your friend for fabric, but you still might want to check about what the fiber content is, what the fabric is.
Yes, you do.
Hems, you can do by hand or on machine. No one will have any trouble with that. And if they do, they're looking too closely at clothing and you can tell them to back off.
They're in your personal space.
Yes.
If somebody's looking at my hems that close, it better be my husband.
The easiest way to boost your garb to the next level and really define what region it's from is trim, whether that's ribbon or cord or some sort of embroidery. My tunic has bands on the shoulders that mark it as a Muslim garment. They're called tiraz bands. And all it is a bit of ribbon, and suddenly I am in persona. Easy ways to boost your sewing. So
Where do you find specific trim like that that's culturally specific?
I ordered this from Etsy. It's not culturally
Cool.
specific. I just found one I liked.
Cool.
As far as the placement on the shoulder, I looked at a manuscript from my region and saw that that's where everyone had gold lines on their garb, on their clothing in the illustrations.
Nice.
So T-tunics, they're everywhere, at least until about 1450. Before that, and after the Roman, including the Romans, honestly, you can wear a T-tunic and be anything you want to be. That's why we're starting with it. This pattern can be as easy or as difficult as you want it to be. If you'd like something more challenging, I can help you draft that out tonight too. In general, these are the 3 measurements that we need to help you draft your thing. I'm going to show you here on camera so all of you can see. From the side of your neck, where it meets your torso, down to the level of your chest. On the ladies, this will be your bust point. On the men, you don't have a bust, just wherever your chest is widest. From the side of your neck, all the way down to where you want it to end. This could be floor length for the men or the ladies. It could end at your knee, could end at your thigh. Mine goes down to my calf. However long you feel like. The last one you need is around the widest part of your chest. Ladies, you know where this goes. Men, if your chest is narrower than your stomach, we're going to take your stomach. So we want to make sure the tunic fits over your head. So I think most everyone who's sewing today has a buddy online, yes? Felicity and Peter have each other, and Elise and Harvest are not sewing today, correct?
No, I'm not sewing, but I have a mannequin.
But you have a mannequin, and I'm pretty sure you already have your bust measurement written down.
I do.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Our two ladies here. You want a measuring tape?
Well, I was going to sew along with you, but apparently my sewing stuff still hasn't been unpacked.
Yeah, I brought my sewing machine, but I forgot the cord to go with it, so.
My answer for everything, it's in a box.
It's in a box. You're still moving. That's fair. Katie forgot this was happening tonight, so.
I even had really pretty red fabric for Warlord.
And it can still be for Warlord.
Not if I can't find my sewing stuff.
Guess the powers that be want you to figure out how to hand sew then, yeah?
Unfortunately, I'm no longer able to hand sew.
Well,
I brought like 5 tape measures, because I didn't know. I didn't know.
Hand sewing requires 2 hands. I have one and one that doesn't work.
well, that stinks.
You need a buddy to measure to the hem. That's the only one you can't do by yourself.
I step on mine.
I do too. I was just gonna say that unless you stick it under your toe.
I hold it here and step on it under my toe. And then I pinch it where my toe is marking it.
I do
But
that.
you don't want it floor length, but that doesn't work, so. And after my first event where I wore a floor length gown and went tromping through the cacti to go retrieve my arrows, I decided I didn't want to do that anymore.
Actually, if you want to do it a certain length like that, if you drape the, okay, I'm gonna turn the video on again. Let me go back in there. I'm gonna get my measuring tape. I'll show you. You drape it over your shoulder and you put the bottom of the measuring tape where you want it to be. And then you get the number from the top of your shoulder. So if I take my measuring tape and I run it back, and then I know the top of my shoulder is right there. If I want it down to, I'll drop it to the length I want it and then grab the top of my shoulder.
Could I make mine floor length tonight? Sure. Yes. You probably won't finish sewing it tonight since you're doing it by hand, but I'll help you cut it.
Maybe to where my skirt is? I'm assuming the length is also limited by the fabric itself, if it's like a certain length.
You should have enough.
Thank you.
Because you'll have a spot under your arms that we can use to help make it, give it more length if we need to.
Is it just like from the neck again, Jim?
From the neck down the front, because your bust sticks out farther than your back does.
And how long do you want yours?
Maybe like knee length.
And look straight ahead, Rachel.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's 37.5.
Thank you.
Okay, add 3 inches to each number you measured so that you have room to move in it. If you make it exactly your measurement, you won't be able to move at all. You'll just be standing there like this. T-posing ominously. You'll end up like me where I'm like pumping, bursting out my sleeves here. This is an old shit.
Fucking up there.
See, we're looking online. That's.
I made these before I started fighting. So I have fighter muscles now.
And now you're ripped.
Not great. Which just means I get to make them prettier and put ribbon on the shoulders.
And I'm only looking for like the second wave of tunics for next year's school.
Okie dokie, next up. There's a link on this page to the site where I got this pattern. So you can go to that site, which has very detailed instructions. And I have another link at the end of the PowerPoint with even more detailed instructions. This is the absolute bare minimum, so I could fit it on one slide. So I have a variety of different shapes of T-tunics here, whether they have straight sleeves like this one, or big belled sleeves. I have a coat. There's ones with wide skirts. You get to choose what shape you want it to be. This style of cutting it is the absolute easiest way to do it, but it's not the historically accurate one. But it will get you garb tonight, and you are welcome to explore later with your newfound skills. So for the ladies, I would recommend the wider and swooshier the skirt, the happier it generally makes people. You're just here for the drama. You both showed up wearing skirts. I'm sure you're here for the drama.
Yeah.
I love the last one. It's really pretty.
Yeah, that's fun.
That one with the V-neck?
Yeah.
Okay. More like that.
Is the first one V-necked or is it? Oh gosh.
It has a round neck with a slit down the front. We can do that as well if you'd like.
Oh gosh, this is so hard.
Can you put the neck on the last one? Or the.
Just do
We can exchange the necks, sure. That one in the middle has a square neck. That's not a
Take the necks
fantastic
above words.
shape to have fun with, but it's possible.
What does the neck on yours look like?
Mine is just round.
That one's really pretty.
Mhm.
Could
Yours
I
will
do
look a
something
little
like the
different.
last one with your style of neck?
You can try this one if you want to. It's going to be harder to sew, but not impossible.
Okay, I'm gonna be daring and try that then.
I'm gonna try the one with like the slit. I've seen that a lot. It looks cool.
Cool, cool. So you're going to fold your fabric in half. You have too much fabric to do that. We're going to have to improvise. So take your measuring tape. We're going to measure out the full length that you want it first,
Oh boy, okay.
and then fold it from there.
I need help stretching or folding, just let me know. I'm just there, so.
Okay, 53 is our magic number.
Cool, cool. Is your measuring tape that long?
It is.
Well, this is literally as tall as me. Perfect.
One. You're going to fold it in half right here and cut the bottom edge.
Okay.
I'll give you scissors for that. First, line it up so it's all good to go.
I'm not sure about my cutting that.
I'm not using a cutting mat and a rotary cutter on the library table. I do not want to get banned from the library. Okay. You have just enough that it's your height.
Okay, well, I'm gonna work on veil pins then.
We'll leave it. Try that again.
I think this is something about
It
a
is in a box.
Perfect. Now you're gonna fold it back the other way. You don't need to do any cutting at all. Oh, cool.
That's lucky.
Yeah, well, not any cutting of.
Yeah, I know.
You don't need to finish all four corners,
Still, that's okay.
Okay.
because the ends aren't quite even.
I'm gonna have to mute myself here in a second.
We can clear off plenty of room. Like this. You want your white fabric as accent, right? Yeah. Gilly, could you hold up one of yours with the sleeve bands? Gilly's has extra fabric on the ends of the sleeves to help make them long enough. Would you be okay with that? Yeah.
And keep going.
Otherwise, your sleeves will only be about elbow length. Which is fine.
Which in Texas, that's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing, no.
Unless you have really light fabric, and then it helps with some.
Yeah, I might like only add a little bit just to get the look. Because I don't necessarily need it to be like the full, although I guess if we're doing the long sleeves, and that would look better if it was long, wouldn't it?
I did long sleeve at our last crown, it was like 96, I was like, it wasn't too bad. I think it just, however you do the heat, and,
Mhm.
but it was a really light black fabric,
Yeah,
so it wasn't too bad.
I did especially poorly at that event, but that was my first event here from Colorado.
Yeah, because y'all were like,
Yeah, I was wearing my Renaissance Spanish doublet. And it was
I
very
didn't say
nice.
hi, but like, I noticed you thought them, I was like, they look cool, where are they?
Yeah, and he was wearing his padded fencing coat so he could do pickup fights all day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my personal suggestion, we're not gonna get super hot just yet.
Mhm.
If you really like those sleeves, go for it. It's still gonna be perfect weather for it. And you get to make a lot more anyways. So you can do your long sleeves, and once it gets hotter, do a short sleeve.
That's fair.
The fun thing about Garb is that altering it is totally period.
So if you decide you don't want it to be.
You got it.
You just take it off.
Great. I'm gonna give you the space at the table I was sitting at. Lay out your fabric. Thank you, everyone, for your patience online.
Felicity wanted you to post the link in the chat because we can't click on it.
Yeah, click on it. I will do that. And I will also post the link to the PowerPoint in chat.
Here's my get mine. Once I found the joins.
So that's the link to the tea tunics.
Red, we're probably gonna accidentally. Oh, cool, nice.
And this is the link to the PowerPoint so that you can open it up on your own devices and you have it to check back with later.
It reminds me of Buttercup for Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my girl.
This one.
Have you guys been to any events yet? Or y'all kind of brand new to checking it out?
I've literally just been to the ring fair. That's it.
That's how we got started. We went to Scarborough last year. I want to do this all the time.
Yeah. So I found the SCA too. I was like, oh man, I want this to just be my entire personality.
Well, Mia, you're gonna start on this side.
Okay,
This is the center front where your neck is gonna go.
okay,
You want a 3-inch circle right there.
okay, I can do that.
Yours, your neck is right here. Okay, same thing, 3-inch circle. That will be plenty big enough. I have marking. And it will wash out. I have wax for you. Which will disappear when you heat it up. That is so cool. So when you iron it or put it through the dryer. Oh, this guy has no point. I will get you another one. I brought.
I was like, I got,
Marking the neckline. That's not on this slide. It's on a later slide, but now is the perfect time to do it. I'm just making a big round circular neckline for this first one. There are better ways to do this. Some of you might know them. This is quick and easy for our class though.
it's like I have a,
Next. You have your neckline facing cut out.
yeah, it's what I'm saying, we wants to use that. It's just the inside. There might be a 3.5 though.
So Gilly has his neckline patterned out on paper so that for every tunic he cuts, he just has to lay this on it and trace it. I have one that I have on paper as well. It's called a zombie neckline and mine isn't a circle. It's a weird oblong shape, so it fits around the back of my neck. Huh, cool. Okay, okay. Next thing, you're gonna take your chest measurement with 3 extra inches and divide that by 4.
Oh boy, I need a calculator.
Yeah, you have a calculator. Whatever middle school teacher told us, you're never gonna have a calculator in your pocket. They were wrong.
Right.
So the shoulder one divided by 4.
The chest one.
Okay, that makes sense.
Chest plus 3 divided by 4.
Yes.
Starting to get into algebra here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a little numbers. It's okay.
it's like fourth grade.
Yeah.
We can handle fourth grade math at this hour of the night. We're not like calculating percentages.
Oh boy, I'm rounding that up. That's way too hard.
Yes, round it up.
Okay.
What, 4 inches? Or 10 inches?
Okay,
Cool. You're gonna measure 10 inches out from the middle.
okay.
Just put a mark right there. Last one, you're gonna take your measurement from your neck down to your bust point and measure down from the shoulder at this mark.
My brain is not thinking.
Start at the
give it
shoulder.
to us.
Oh, gotcha.
And measure all the way down to your bust point.
Okay, so from the top, yeah, okay.
Yeah, whatever your bust like measurements.
So am I taking a picture of this?
No, of course not.
Now that I have a mask on, yeah.
Okay. This point right here.
Okay.
See the dot. That's gonna be your armpit. So you're gonna take a line, and you're gonna go all the way up to the bottom here. And you take a line, go all the way how you want it to go. And then you're gonna curve it. To here, here. And that's your whole technique.
So she
Congrats, you dropped it a little bit.
You wanna
It's
get,
so
you wanna get
easy.
to the fold? Fold or opposite?
You're gonna go out to the edge,
Okay,
to
so-
selvage, and down to the
And
hand.
down.
And then you're gonna curve that edge just a little bit.
Okay. I'll start up here.
Mine doesn't have a curve, mine has a square patch.
Yeah.
So y'all can see, I have a square patch in my armpit. That means I can raise and lower it to gusset. So not a straight line.
Oh, no.
You're gonna want to diagonally out that corner.
Oh, that makes more sense.
It's gonna make your big piece or this way.
Here.
Cool.
Well, thank goodness for my.
It does. It's gonna pencil comes out too. And then be like here for your sleeves, so they open up.
Okay,
They'll be about as long as my arm.
okay.
Go here, and curve. That'll keep it from getting sharp there in the armpit.
That's so cool.
This piece here is gonna flip upside down and go this way to make it big and fluffy.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
she
any fabric.
did, or she went out to the arm.
Out
To
to the edge of the
the
arm.
armpit.
Mhm.
So we're gonna go straight or what do you think?
I put it down at a little angle to make it bell just a little bit.
What, she wanted to do the long sleeve, like,
Ooh, the long drapey ones,
yeah.
make yours straight out. We'll see about getting you big white sleeves. Would that work?
I mean, you think that would look good?
Yeah,
or-
you gotta green it up to here, like where hers are,
Mhm.
and then from there it'll go up white, which I think will look.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because
I
you
think
can
that'll
trim
look
that too, to kind of pull it in, so.
Yeah, you can turn it inside out so the white looks like it's just folded and draped. Yeah, that
So you
would
wanted her to go straight out?
turn it this way. Hello. Okay.
And then it will
And then you need to put a curve in here somewhere for your,
right in there.
Yeah, I'll just curve it. Yeah, just mark. There you go.
So like this, we want
You don't straight line it.
to put more flash.
Yeah, that looks like a good curve. What are we doing on time? 7:20.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna cut that out.
Okay, so how should I cut mine? Because I know you mentioned it going inside the skirt.
The straight line,
Okay,
and around the corner, and the straight line,
okay.
and that's it. Yeah. Mind if I borrow your scissors?
Go for it, you got it. Likewise.
Yeah. Oh, right here. Running out of juice.
Reverse.
The phone's over there.
Okay, that's what I was making sure.
Just cut through, so-
Yeah.
Okay, while they cut, I'm gonna do a tutorial for those of you online. When they finish cutting, I'll switch over to them. But this is something that works better up close and personal. So of those of you who have done the hand sewing online or sewing in general online, how many of you have done it as hand sewing? Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a lot of hand sewing.
Cool, okay. Then I do not need to tell you what a running stitch is and what a whip stitch is.
No.
No.
Cool, cool. I will recommend some of the things that I keep in my sewing kit then. I have a housewife, is what they're called in the 18th century, that has pockets that hold all my favorite things. I have markers. This is colored wax. Wax goes away when it gets hot. So if I iron it, the marks disappear. It's great because it marks on any surface. The other thing I'd recommend are friction pens or erasable pens, and those also disappear when you iron them. They're great for embroidery because you can make really fine lines with them and then they disappear when you're done.
Could you move the items a little closer when you're talking about them for those of us farther away?
I can do that.
Kind thanks.
That's my wax. I would really highly recommend that you find a thimble that works for you or your fingers will shred. Mine, for instance, has an open back so that it still lets me sweat and lets it wiggle on my finger while I'm sewing. You can see that I use it a lot. If you don't like metal on your fingers, don't like the smell or the marks it leaves, they do sell leather thimbles as well, plastic ones. Those are just fine. I've even seen people use sticker thimbles that are hard plastic that glues to your finger while you're sewing and is invisible. They're clear plastic. Those are really cool because they're like fake callus. I would recommend you check out specifically hand sewing point needles. Not every sewing needle is made the same, and point needles are made to go through fabric easily. Not sure you can see the difference. This one here is a point needle. It's very small. The eye is also very small, but it glides through the fabric. Compared to a embroidery needle, you can see how bigger the embroidery one is. Safety pins are fantastic for emergencies or for anything that you're sewing with. The last big recommendation I have for hand sewing is beeswax. I have a little lump of beeswax in my sewing kit. If you wax your thread before you sew with it, you have the same thimble, but it's shiny.
I just got them in today.
If you wax your thread, it won't snap or tangle on you, and it'll go through the fabric much easier. Most people who do a lot of hand sewing, like for entire garments, will wax a whole batch of like 22-inch threads at once, and then just bundle them up together for while they're sewing. We have cut. Yes. Okay.
Let me ask you, the only thing that you have differently in yours that I have, I use the chalk, but the one thing that I don't like about it is as you touch it, it goes away. And obviously the wax that you use, it doesn't rub off, correct? But does it ruin some fabrics? Because some fabrics you can't iron. How do you get it off if you can't iron the fabric or wash it?
If you can't iron it, you need to use a different sort of marker.
So the chalk, okay.
Because the chalk is water soluble instead of heat.
Yeah.
They have specifically for tailors air soluble markers that will just slowly disappear over time. I've never had luck with them because I forget that they will disappear, and I try to mark things that I need long term. But that is a possibility for experienced seamstresses. Or
They don't have a lot of ink in them though. I find that I go through those rather quickly and they're not cheap.
yeah, because the markers themselves don't last.
Yeah. But the chalk, I like the chalk, but like I said, the more you touch the fabric, the more it rubs off. And I never tried the wax because I was worried about it not coming off.
The white wax comes out of anything I've ever used it on. The yellow wax doesn't always.
I'll try that.
Okay.
So pretty is the neckline. You think? Yeah, because it's hard.
Now, I don't think any of you need help with how to use a sewing machine,
Yeah, I was thinking.
which is great. This was the part of the class I was dreading having to try to teach online, is how to thread a sewing machine.
This is very straight.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna go straight to the next steps.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go help our seamstresses again. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah.
Yes, that was great.
Are the neckline visible ones? Or are they pulled in?
We're putting it inside the basic, so it's what the fashion fabric is.
So yeah.
There you go.
So
Oh, wow. And they put it in. Oh, you can do the same with yours if you want, or we can put money in the sleeve. So we have one more piece we need to cut for those of you in person, and that is the neckline facing, which is how we're going to turn the neck to the inside. Mine, I just hand stitched, and it does not like staying there. Because it's a curve, and the piece that's supposed to go under is smaller than the piece it wants to fall apart. I don't recommend it. We're going to do it facing instead, so it's all wrapped up inside the fabric. It's going to make a big square on the front of your garment. Around your neck.
Okay, so yeah, we'll see. She's thinking of doing this as her.
Oh, yeah, that would be gorgeous. That would be so.
And that's where she could separate the green and the white as well.
Yeah, like some of these bands, like between the green and the white on the sleeve.
Yeah, we're going to use that whole piece for you.
Cool. Because it's pretty.
So may I see it?
What do you think would look, like which part should I be spending on?
I think you're going to cut either that piece with the small edges or without it. That wide, you're going to cut all three of them out. Okay, it's going to go 1, 2, 3 on the neckline. And then we'll cut extra bands on the sleeves. Very cool. Yours is going to be easier than it is. This is sleeve.
What do you think? With or without small bands?
This is sleeve of one.
So, you like the bands?
You're gonna
But
cut all the way
if you
up,
cut without
all the way down,
veins, that can be
all the way
very
across.
small.
around the edge of this line, and just make sure it goes right.
That's easy, I can do that.
Give
Yeah,
you,
just move on.
Okay.
so I give you this to work with. And then you have essentially this to be shown there, which would be, it's very subtle,
Yeah,
which is cool.
I kind of like it, I think, with just this bit and then use this for something else, because that's a little more focused on
You're gonna have about a 1/4 inch that you have to fold under as you sew it.
this. Okay,
Keep that in mind.
so am I gonna end up taking these off the end anyway, like do I need to cut these out with this panel? Does that make sense? Because this is a 1/4 inch, right? Ish, or 1/2 inch, whatever it is.
Inch. Let's say cut down the middle of this one, middle of this one, and that one,
So
I'll
then
just
we'll
use
take
2
these
panels.
panels.
Yes. The 3rd panel can be for your sleeves.
And it's just like a table runner or something?
I have no idea. I picked it up at the thrift store. It was pretty, and I said, I'll use that for something, and it's been sitting in my fabric stash for probably 5 years at this
It is
point.
very pretty.
I've already started with a stash like that. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. It's on sale.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that looks really nice at the thrift store, and you pick it up, and suddenly
So nobody believes me when I say I'm not buying anything at Gold. They're like, you're gonna buy something.
we moved more fabric from Colorado than we moved furniture.
Really?
Yeah, we sold most of our furniture, but I wasn't willing to sell my fabric stash.
Or that giant heavy, what's it called?
I actually bought that here in Texas. We didn't have to move that.
That's good. That's good. You got your room all set up for sewing and everything now?
Yeah, yes, I do. Okay. Now, there is one tricky part to this. I'm gonna help you pin it in place before you leave.
Okay.
Because it is the one piece that if you mess up, you will cry. Just like sob. Actually, it doesn't matter because this is, there's no right side on this fabric. Okay. So I'm just gonna arbitrarily decide that this, the area that I'm touching right now is the inside.
Nice fabric.
So then all the seams are gonna poke this way.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put the right side against the inside of this one.
Okay.
And then we turn it inside out. Seam will be hidden, this will be on the outside. So. Yeah, you could line the middle of this and line it up with the neckline. And then put the green piece forward.
Okay. So the middle of this.
Goes right on top of the shoulder.
Let's say like right there, maybe.
You can fold it.
That's a good idea.
I didn't count when we ran out of time this.
We only need two.
There's only one more, so I'll do these.
We'll only use those two for your basic.
But these are gonna be like sleeve this, these bits.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, the big ones will
I think this will.
Yeah. that one is.
Oh, yeah.
So same deal for these 1/4 inch on the side.
And then you can make like.
Ooh, I don't know.
Or it goes into a giant total scrap. That's what mine said.
There.
No, that's what I use it for, this.
Yeah.
Little scraps.
I need 576 of them, so yeah,
Ooh, a whole quilt.
yeah, it will be.
I don't have your name. Can I have it?
Leanne Davis. Yeah, this is my year goal. I'm allowing myself a year to put it together.
And are you just joining or are you a member of the Barony? I haven't met yet.
I'm LC steps. I'm literally on the border.
Your first event was her first event.
Yeah,
Okay.
So, but you hurt yourself like, what was it, 9 months ago or so? No, October.
August.
August. I remember it's right when I had my.
That's what I went to the doctor for today, actually. They were gonna cut it open and drain it, but they said that they're just gonna put me on 1 month long antibiotics and see if that'll deal with it. So I was kind of hoping it would be over with today. It's not.
No, not that. This is unbiased no matter what, isn't it?
Yep. You want the bias on bias though. That way the seam stretches evenly.
So I'm like that.
Yep, you want the curvy edge in towards the dress. It will help you pin your neckline next. So yours is gonna be a little bit heavier. The first thing you're gonna have to do is sew these two pieces together along here.
And then this will be a shoulder.
Yep, and then both sides point up.
See.
You're gonna use the same pins as Sonia is. They're cheap, I don't want them back. Okay. Pin the line about a half inch down here first. And then we're gonna pin it to the dress, so you remember at least which way it goes. All the way down, all the way across, shoulder to shoulder.
So where do you find she has a, is
Um,
that what the Joann's today?
No.
It was like $9.99.
Amazon.
no,
That was like,
no.
dear Lord, I'm not getting pins.
I don't shop at Amazon either. I used to work professionally as a seamstress and I have a wholesaler that I have access to. That I recommend to everyone that I can, please use my wholesaler instead of Amazon.
Yeah.
I just got pins in yesterday from Amazon.
That company is wallwhack.com. Wallwhack.
I've ordered one before.
I'll try to remember, I check on the square for me.
Yeah. You have my Discord, message me, I'll let you know. I love talking about it.
I'm joining it tonight.
5.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
There's one at each
Okay.
level, isn't there?
I hope I did it right.
Yeah, we're gonna unfold it and keep pinning all the way around. Oh, okay. Because we want it pinned this one.
I was like, we gotta run.
Just like one at each corner.
Yeah,
would be
no,
enough.
keep one in the corner.
Oh, okay.
Here, we look at that. Or pin it. You won't pin me, I promise.
Okay.
I'm smarter than that. There we go.
Okay, pull the others. Yeah.
I know. Again. Wow.
I
Like
see, I have-
$5.
I have a magnetic bowl and a wrist strap and I never use my needle. Like I just throw my pins on the table and screw them on.
I have a bad habit of putting mine in my mouth when I'm
Yeah.
sewing, and it's really unsafe.
Mine just ended on the floor.
Or I have like a little rice bag thing, I'll just stab them into that.
That works. That works.
I haven't stuck that one yet, it's a little good.
I ended up buying a charm actually that magnets to my chest, and then I just release the pins and it magnets them to my chest, which is great. But I lost it.
So you said a half an inch and then my brain was like, no.
The width of your finger.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I unfold this?
Uh,
Yeah, it's kind of a mess.
It is. It is. You have one end of the skirt. I have the other.
Okay, that makes sense.
You can see the shoulders and sleeves there. This is going to go right over. Here we go. Just remember that this side right now with the gold is the inside. Okay, when you start sewing, so you want to sew it like this.
Okay,
And not like this.
okay. I think that makes sense. I'll figure it out.
Are we doing any sewing tonight?
I don't think so, but I will help you with your neckline still. Did you not bring the stuff for me to help you with your neckline?
I got something else we help with, that's more important.
Right, and I have ribbon for you in the car.
Yeah, my other problem was way more pressing.
Okay, fair.
But it's an easy fix from what I'm told.
Okay.
It's just one of those, it's hard to explain on the phone.
Great, next step. Same thing. This is the wrong side that I'm touching right now, okay? And the other side is the right side. Okay? The right side of this against the wrong side of this. Your halfway is easy to find. Line it up the shoulders. Line it up the middle. And that's not girl. If we're on the edge here, you're gonna wanna do each corner, you're gonna unfold. Okay. So I recommend a pin here and here.
on this underlay.
Put your hand up inside the fabric.
Oh, do I just need to hit the corners?
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's fine.
I'll give you maybe like one in the middle of the long piece, but.
Okay, I'm an overachiever.
Yeah.
We just need to keep it in place so you don't lose it while you take it home.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna have time to sew tonight. The Harvest, it doesn't surprise me that you know them too. They have fantastic sewing deals.
Yeah, I like their stuff.
Felicity, I see your comment about putting a sewing machine through a finger. On one hand, it has happened to me once. On the other hand, it happened to me once with an industrial sewing machine while I was trying for speed and not being safe in 20 years of sewing. It's probably never going to happen as long as you respect what you're doing.
Yeah, I'd rather take my chances.
That's fair. And every Laurel who has skill in costuming will give you kudos for doing it historically accurately, and you'll be right at home here.
So a question. So we've been looking at different designs online since we're not sewing, and there's quite a few people who sell things for, 40 or 50 bucks. Do most people make their own first garb, or is it perfectly acceptable to purchase something that looks like it's suitable?
It is perfectly acceptable to purchase things or to commission other people to make you things. But since we don't have A&S practices regularly, this is a way for people who are interested in that to come meet people and try it out.
Right. Yeah, no, I get it. And I would prefer to do that. I also.
Yeah, the fighters get to see it weird. So.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep, make sure you include your skirt pieces. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna need to shorten your sleeve a little bit to match this. Yeah.
Jay, you want her to do the quarter inch up?
Right to the bottom, because this is also going to be seam allowance. As long as it's a quarter inch here. This one is the one you can't go. That's not like hurting enough. Yeah, put it in the middle. I'm going to bring in just a little bit more. That way the 100 feet a little bit more. Like there. Yeah. Remember this point here is 3 inches more than you need. We're going to add another 1.5 inches times 4. So I'm going to do that. That means you'll have a nice blouse if you put it up with it, which is the style.
Yeah, a little pull, the belt pull in too.
Notably out, you do the big cross belt with the big tango ties. Yeah, your style. Yes. We're getting close to the end of our class, so I'm going to move on to the end of our PowerPoint as well. No one tonight has made a tunic, but you will soon. Are you good to listen while you cut, Rachel?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Then the thing that really brings your garb to the next level is generally the accessories. I just have a T-tunic, but as soon as I popped on a head covering, I looked much more authentic, right?
Yes.
And it's just a scarf from Walmart.
Wow.
So the things you can do with your accessories help you make look more period, whether it's just a leather belt around your waist or a long piece of ribbon that you tie and will hang down, or whether it's you're not wearing tennis shoes, you're wearing something like what you have. Yeah,
They're historically accurate?
they're leather. They don't have the
I was like, I would have questioned. If it's 10 foot, remember, so it looks right from 10 feet away.
That is so cool. Yeah, I got this for $3 at the thrift store.
Great. No, they wore shoes like that with the squarish toe and the strap across them in the Tudor England.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Yeah. So you're fine with those. My husband fenced in like running shoes for several years, and that really bothered me. We're fixing that.
Well, the guys use cleats that they just cover.
Like Felicity pointed out, there are vendors who make things like shoes and belts as a business, or people who just do it as a hobby. You can buy, barter, even beg, and some people will just give it to you, like you're a newcomer and you don't have a belt, here. See if there are leather workers in your local group. A lot of them would love to run a class like this where they teach you how to make a basic ring belt or a turn shoe. It's really not that hard to pick up leatherworking. You can sew a sash or weave a belt with an inkle loom. A veil is super easy to make. You can make Russian fur hats or bucket hats or turbans with very little sewing. You're making a few Russian hats, right?
Yeah.
The 4-panel ones?
Yeah, we just finished one.
Oh, yeah. Those are the things that will bring your garb up to the next level above just a T-tunic. It does not have to be complicated. It does not have to be expensive. You can be as enthusiastic about it as you want to be. You can also be as lazy about it as you want to be. Like me, I don't even wear a belt when I'm in persona.
Oh, that's so cool.
I have a very, very short list of resources here. The top one is a T-tunic pattern that uses period rectangular construction. There's a lot more sewing involved, but looks a lot more accurate. You'll have a square gusset in the armpit like I do. You'll have to sew in your sleeves and your goddess separately. You'll also have a nice neckline with a keyhole slit and a button. Those are fun. The link under that is, I think, every garb resource in the Kingdom of Atlantia. It has tons of stuff for what you want to research on specific types of garb. Mistress Cynthia Dupre-Argent has a list of ways that you can make accessories like belts or slippers. And the SCA Without Breaking the Bank is a resource on how to thrift, lend, borrow, or steal garb to get you started super inexpensively. Also, feast gear, camping equipment, and other such. There is a Facebook group called SCA Garb How To, where you can ask questions. I have one more link to put in chat for you, and that is for a company called D-Stash. If you type that into Facebook, or if you search it on Google, it will bring you to a company run by a woman in Denver who sells specifically SCA stuff secondhand. You can buy everything from garb to tents to fighting equipment and armor to archery equipment, raw fabric, patterns, anything you need. I bet you she has it. I've been to her house. It's terrifying. Yes, but I would highly recommend you take a look because you can find some incredible garb from like people who ruled as queen and then grew 2 inches in the bust and don't fit into their gowns anymore, and so they're selling their court regalia.
This is awesome.
Oh yeah. You have a dress. You have a dress. Everybody gets a dress, and I get to be Oprah. There are books that you can research about specific periods of garb. I particularly like this one, The Modern Maker, because the patterns work off of your proportions, so you don't have to do any math. It just tells you which fraction to use and you measure out that much on your tape. It is a super easy way to get fancy, fancy Renaissance garb. There are libraries that have copies of these books that you can get on interlibrary loan. And you can also see if anyone in your barony has them that you could borrow hard copy, because I lend mine out, because I love to see people in fancy garb. That is all I have for you guys. As far as instruction. I will open it up to any questions. I have one more page I have to show. There's a disclaimer page I have to show.
Disclaimer, don't put a needle through your finger.
This presentation template was created off of a third-party website. I didn't make it. I have to give them credit.
Oh, but it's so cute.
I know, right? It was a very kind teacher's lesson on medieval theater that she put on that I saw. So if you have questions, you can email the Hospitaller at steps.anstiora.org and you'll reach Stephania, who you met tonight.
Yay!
Yay! You can also go visit our website at steps.anstiora.org and figure out all of the places we practice. I think our next practice is this Sunday in Mesquite. We're doing archery.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm sorry, Peter and Felicity. There's no way you're going to make it down for that, I know.
No, no, we're kind of staying out of Texas for a while, just in general.
Maybe up there.
That's fair. Yep. Archery practice Sunday, fighters meet on Tuesday. If you're closer to LC, fighters meet on Wednesday.
I'll meet next Wednesday.
You're not meeting next Wednesday?
It's golf. Everybody's leaving for golf.
Golf
Starts
or-
Wednesday to Saturday and Sunday, so.
Cool, then come fight with us instead in Richardson. Not you, you'll be at golf.
Can't find you.
Lucky. But anyways, you still show up and socialize. I will get you guys the links to the Discord since it seems like everyone here is young and tech savvy.
Peter's young and tech savvy. I'm learning. Discord, other things, yes. Discord, not so much.
You're excellent with them.
Yep, so there is our baronial Discord. We will also share the Kingdom Discord,
Yeah.
where they have another wonderful video of people in great garb if you want to go see it. Are there any last questions as we wrap this up? Can I help?
Next month.
Next month's class will be online and in person again. Same bat place, same bat channel. We are talking about camping. How to get to an event, how to make sure you're prepared for emergencies, what goes on at a camping event. Yeah, it's a little late since it's after Gulf Wars, but
No, we're not going.
we will have one more class whose topic has not been decided at the beginning of May. Gilly, can I have your attention for a moment? We're gonna have one last class at the beginning of May, and then at our Steps event, Steps Warlord, we're gonna have a graduation. Anyone who's come to any one of these classes, if you come to Steps Warlord and you're at court, you're gonna get a cookie. Not a literal cookie. A certificate, maybe. I haven't decided yet. I just like giving people presents.
A cookie certificate?
A cookie certificate. Maybe I will make a scroll for each of you that's shaped like a cookie. And then you can hang it on your wall. But that will be the end of our newcomers classes for this go around. We'll probably give it a rest for a month or two and then jump back in at the beginning. So if you missed one earlier, we will have it again. Don't worry.
Yay.
We try to run them every 6 months, once a year. We'll get you there.
Cool.
Wonderful.
And when is the Warlord?
Warlord is going to be Memorial Day.
Okay.
It'll be in Canton, like an hour and 20 minutes east of Dallas. It will
Google
be
where that is.
we'll be at the Canton Trade Days site, so there will be an indoor air-conditioned hall to hang out in during the day.
Nice. Okay.
And then camping in the evening.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you so much. This was very helpful.
Of course. You are welcome to reach out to me if you have any questions. I am Rayya on Discord, both the servers, and then you can find my actual Discord tag from there. Gilly can tell you, you can just PM me and I'll answer questions.
Awesome.
I work from home. I have time.
We work from home as well, so.
Cool. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you all for coming. We need to get packed up on this end, and hopefully I will see you again next time.
Thank you. This is great.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good evening.
How do I stop the recording?